Hi y'all, I'm Allison. The big day is here. We're going to begin our December Start and Stop Buddy Read. This book was recommended with Cassie, and it is The Family Game by Catherine Steadman. I cannot wait to get into this thriller. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, Cassie read it last year, and she said that she wants to read it again, and she knew this would be a perfect fit for our little group because there's a lot to discuss in this puppy, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, Cassie has provided us with 3 stops. Actually, she gave us an optional 4th one. Maybe we will utilize that one. We'll decide as we get into the book a little bit. But we are going to time block this puppy. We're going to be reading it in segments. In between each segment, we will put down the book, wait for the next video to come out, and then proceed on to the next segment. And as each video is released, we will get together and speculate and ooh and ah and cheer on our favorite characters and hiss at the ones we don't like. And I have a feeling that this one's going to have a lot of characters we can hiss at because we've got some old family money involved. And a novelist on the brink of stardom, Harriet, is about to marry Edward, who is an heir to a powerful family. He's been kind of estranged from his family, but once the word of engagement is known, his family descends on the scene. And Harriet's future father-in-law, Robert, gives her a book on tape. At least she thought it was just a book on tape. Turns out it might actually be a confession to a murder. So Harriet's got to find out if this is just some kind of a family game or if it is actually a confession. She doesn't know what she's getting herself into, and I cannot wait to find out. So, I am assuming if you are here, you have already read to our first magical paragraph. You should already be 22% of the way into the book, which in my copy, the story ends on page 319. You should be at page 73. Now, I know we've got some audiobook listeners. If your audiobook is 10 hours and 51 minutes long, then you should find our magical paragraph in chapter 8 around the 2 hour and 23 minute mark. I'm guessing. I don't know if you've got the reader's guide and all that stuff at the end. So your times might be a little bit off, but listen for it in chapter 8. Now, if you haven't reached that point in the book yet, 22%, then sadly you're gonna want to go. You're gonna want to walk away from this video because I am about to sit down, read this, and react as I do all the way up until our stopping point. And I don't want to ruin the book for anybody who hasn't read it yet. So, once you do read it, come back and then we'll dish all about it. And if you've stumbled upon this video after it's already been up and the whole series is up and we're done reading it, feel free to join in anyway. I will keep an eye on these comments and I will speculate with you all over again. So the intention is that no matter when you stumble across this series, it should feel like you are right there with us reading at the very beginning. So let me know, by the way, for my latecomers, if it does in fact work like I intend. All right, I am going to go find a spot to get comfy and I'm going to begin reading. I'm so excited. All right, I will see y'all in just a moment. All right, we have moved into the living room. Lily is joining me. Hopefully she won't steal my spot today, although I'm sure she will. I need reading glasses, otherwise I'm in trouble. And I bet she takes my spot while I'm gone. Or she might follow me. My shadow. Okay. Ow. I have my book. I'm diving in. I always forget that y'all already know everything by the time that you watch these videos. So you get to sit there and go, oh, wait until she reaches this point. Oh, are these dated chapters? I love that. It is. Okay, so we're starting on Christmas Day with a prologue. Okay, when they were saying old family money, they're not kidding. I got a castle that they moved from the Meszek, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, mountains, I guess, in Hungary. into New York. I know that wasn't necessarily unheard of. They're setting up the book, Lily. I can't. Lily's in a dramatic mood. And I was so focused on them moving the castle brick by brick to New York that I completely zoned over the fact that she is out cold at the front door and bleeding. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Okay, I am loving the tone of the book, the prologue. I am already hooked, Cassie. I think this is going to be so much fun. I really like how the scene was laid out for you with her laying in the doorway, blood on her eyelashes, and the front door open. She can see the grounds, but it's an hour by foot to town, and she doesn't have her phone. Like I said, I really like the writing so far. It's a great jumping off point for the book. And, it's even told us that we may have an unreliable narrator. Well, I don't know if I'd go so far as that, but she does say that, she's got a past and she is trying to marry into this moneyed family. So, it's setting up that she's not perfect and without her faults. But here's one thing that kind of got me. Who is she talking to at the beginning? Is she addressing the reader? Because it says, 20 years ago, I almost died. I hung in silence, death all around me, but somehow I survived. If I could survive that, I can survive this because you showed up. And I have so much more to lose. So who's you? We're going to survive this, you and I. They say you can't choose your family, but they're wrong. You can. So is she talking to her fiance? Is she talking to the reader? Who? Did anybody else kind of trip over that a little bit? Or am I just reading too much into it? Anyway, I love the prologue. I love the setup. So now we're going back, I guess a month, a little bit over a month. Monday, November 21st. Fairy Tale of New York. Christmas lights. I love it. I just finished decorating my house. God, it took me a week. So we got the last of the boxes put up night before last. And I've been so busy. This is my first time to just kind of sit down and enjoy the fruits of my labor. All of my decorations are up, and I'm reading my first Christmas book because today is December 1st. I'm a little bit ahead. It's Friday. So, okay. Sorry. I always have a hard time focusing on a new book at the beginning. Can you tell? Okay, one last thing before I seriously read. I know there was a movie I always wanted to see, and I think it was Ready or Not. Is this based on the movie, or is the movie based on this book? Or is this just kind of like another book along that lines? Because I know the bride was like trapped in the house with the family, and she had to survive the night. They were all trying to kill her or something like that. It's one of the horror movies that I always meant to watch, and I still haven't gotten around to it. So I'm wondering, is this that movie? I would assume no. Otherwise, it would have said so. Now, a major motion picture or something. I'm sorry. I will say she's very good at painting a scene because, I can picture her walking down the streets of New York with all of the decorations already up for the holidays, even though it's only November 21st, in the mood of being on Fifth Avenue and everything. So Catherine Steadman, she's really good with quickly laying a scene without wasting a bunch of pages to it. Although, in all fairness, Christmas in New York, pretty much that's all you have to say, and you can envision it. But she did a really good job of catching that vibe, or portraying that vibe. And can you imagine finding out your debut novel is about to sell 1 million copies? How incredible would that be? Imagine the mortification of her heel being caught like that in the grate. Yeah, he would come across as a knight in shining armor, whether you need to be saved or not. Again, I love how she sets up a scene. Oh my God, their time at Rockefeller Center and skating on the ice and the crowd breaking out in song. I mean, I would love to. Now, I hate cold. I can't ice skate. And by the way, snow scares the hell out of me. But I would love to stand in front of the Rockefeller tree one year and at least watch people ice skating on the rink. I bet it's just incredible. I've seen it in movies, of course, but to actually stand in front of an 80-foot tree, I can't even. I bet it's just insane. It's just so Christmas, so American, actually. Like she points out, it doesn't. That's not something I would have honestly thought of as being American. The crowd joining in with singing the Christmas song at the beginning. But apparently, she's saying, and British people just aren't like that they wouldn't, embrace that moment. And I kind of find that hard to believe. I would like to think that everybody would just get caught up in the moment and sing along. But it just, I love that scene. Because I'm really enjoying her descriptions and how she's just laying everything out. And he just got on one knee. It's such a fairy tale romance so far, which, is just going to show how quickly things are going to slide into chaos, I would assume. And Chapel of Love. I love that song. Well, hello, Finley. Actually, when you think about it, how many proposals do you think that ice rink has seen? I bet countless. It would be such a romantic place to get engaged. That's cute that he's worried that it was too much for her, the proposal. But, being British, I guess she wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable with that display of emotion being out in public and everything. Yes. We have a whole love seat over here, but apparently Lily's gonna keep me company. Okay, he's talking about how his family is excited to meet her too. And I'm with Harry on this. What does he mean? I haven't had anyone like her in the family before, so I wonder what it is about her that they are excited about. Is it the novelist aspect? Orphan, I would assume, the fact that she's British, I don't think they would be too impressed by that. Or orphan, maybe a novelist. I'm curious to see what it is about her that the family is intrigued by. So, and I want to know what happened to her 20 years ago. I guess it was some kind of a car crash and both of her parents died. She was, what, 11? Or at least that's when her father died. Kind of skipped over it. Did her mom die at that point too? Because normally I wouldn't bother to go back and read it. I just hope that it would write itself. But, you know, for y'all, I will go back. I know there was a quick reference to her mother. I tend to focus on big events or conversations, and I miss a lot of the details in the beginning of a book. Okay. I didn't really skip over anything because all she said was that she missed the round vowel sound of her mother's way of speaking. And I never thought of us as having a rounder vowels. I guess we would. Anyway. And it didn't really say whether... I know her dad died in the wreck. Is it a wreck? I think she said somewhere that she's on the side of the road. I assume it was a wreck. I keep looking for something sinister. Is it a too good to be true scenario? I'm assuming what they like about her is that she has no family of her own, that she's on her own. That's my call. That's my guess. What's 2 paracetamols? Is that 2 Tylenol? Because she's got a hangover. I have no idea who the Fritzels are. So she's saying that his family could be them and she'd still make it work with Edward, the fiance. She sent a handwritten invitation to tea by courier nonetheless. I personally love that just because I miss the days of mail. And yeah, I was just talking to my husband the other day about, you know, the days before all of our electronics, you know, where you had morning calls and you were at home for an hour a day and that people could drop by and visit. You know, the handwritten letters. I miss handwriting letters. That was something so thrilling about going to check the mailbox every day. Anyway. Wow. Okay, that was some gall rescheduling her meeting with the publishers. I definitely would have balked at that. You know, not even... Well, at first I was impressed with the delivery of the handwritten invitation to tea. I do not like how it was strung on after that point. I was, you know, charmed by the romantic tendencies of it, you know, romanticizing the past like I was just doing a moment ago. But for them to just go and reschedule her publisher's meeting and pretty much, I would assume, strong arm the publishers because, you know, they own it's part of their holdings. Yeah, I'd be, some red flags would be going off. That just, nope. So we will see. It's definitely signs of meddling that I assume and will just be part of her normal life. So, okay, she's got a hangover that's, you know, she still has it. So is she actually pregnant and she's not hungover? I can definitely see how, though, she wouldn't want to cancel, you know, again the next day saying, I don't feel good, because then it would definitely come across that she's trying to avoid his family. It's better to go there and, if need be, let your discomfort, your illness be seen, and then hopefully your host would graciously bow out and allow you to go home. Okay, so it seems like Mathilda's actually quite nice and bubbly. We'll have to see if that's just an act that she's putting on, but Okay, at first, my impression of her wasn't too good, along with Harriet's impression of her. So it seems like maybe she will have a real ally in the family. Already comparing her to his past girlfriends. Matilda does have a point with their family being such old money and, off the scales rich. Their life wouldn't necessarily be easy. I mean, it's going to be easy in some aspects, but, you're just trading one set of problems for another. With that amount of money, you've got a whole nother, like I said, problem set to deal with, because you wouldn't know people's intentions if they were just sucking up to you, hoping to get some money or to gain favor. You would never be able to truly trust people that they don't have an angle that they're working. And you also have to, even their safety could be at risk because of having that amount of money. So it would be hard to distinguish, the gold diggers from people that are genuine, especially when it comes to romantic partners. So I'm warming up to Mathilda and the family in general. I'm buying it. I'm following along with it. But then I am very gullible and naive, and I like to believe the best in everybody. So, we know this family is going to become unhinged at some point towards her, or at least the father is. Okay, that point went to Mathilda because she invited Harry and Edward to their house to meet the rest of the family. The girlfriends, boyfriends, everybody will be there. She conveniently left out that it's Thanksgiving. She just called it a family dinner. Being that she's from England, she wouldn't automatically go Thursday, end of November, Thanksgiving. That is a huge thing. And for her to meet the entire family on Thanksgiving, poor thing doesn't know what she's gotten herself into. Oh, apparently she does realize it as soon as she tells him, and Edward points out that it is in fact Thanksgiving dinner. I like how she's decided to play it, that they're not gonna, trick and manipulate her. She's just letting Edward think that she knew it was Thanksgiving all along. Which, even though Mathilda apologized for the little stunt with the publisher, considering how she, finagled a Thanksgiving dinner out of them, I think she knew very well that contacting the publisher was going too far as well. So I think she may come across sweet and nice, but I think she's very manipulative to get what she wants. Okay, I'm going to take a little break. Okay, I can get back to the book. I had to feed everybody. So Lily is quite content now. She's got a full belly. So what's y'all's take on Mathilda so far? She just, like I said, they just had their lunch and she just tricked Harry into a Thanksgiving over at her parents' house. I wonder if she's going to become an ally for Harry or if she's going to be part of the problem. Thanksgiving. I can't imagine traveling from San Diego to New York in the morning and then going to Thanksgiving dinner that night. That would be, if I travel, that's it. I'm not doing anything else for the day. And typically from where I am, in Texas, it's pretty much a 3-hour flight no matter which way you go, because we're like right smack in the middle. And I think from San Diego to New York is like a 5-hour flight. Plus, you have to get at the airport early for security and all of that. No, thank you. I am done for the day. So he's a bigger trooper than I am. Although he is much younger than I am. So maybe that's the key. Because he's arriving in the morning from San Diego and he's going to go family Thanksgiving that night. By the way, that's the other thing. Is he too good to be true? And one last point. I do like how Harriet has a spine that, I guess she gained some information from Mathilda She knows that the family's kind of interfered in Edward's love life in the past, and they're counting on her bringing him back into the fold. So I guess that has empowered her enough to, feel a little bit more secure about things. And it, like I said, with her reply to Edward in regards to Thanksgiving, it looks like she's not going to be easily just led around. She's not going to just blindly accept whatever cards they throw at her, that she's going to try and, claim some control for herself. At least that's the impression I have at this point. We are still very early in. Yeah, I'd say she's pregnant. She's been sick for 3 days, and now when he, mentioned that she's not looking up to par, she burst into tears. So I'm calling it. She's pregnant. The cat. I gotta show y'all. Okay, look. Let me get you far enough. Sorry about the glare. Behind the TV, she walked along back here, came out, stood up on her back legs like a meerkat, and jumped behind the tree. And then she jumped to get behind the tree. Can you see her? She kind of blends in. She's behind the Rudolph. These cats, I'm telling you, they're just extra this year. I hope that tree is not going to land on the floor. Can I have my blankie, Lily? Okay, let's see how Thanksgiving is going to go. Yep, she's pregnant. She just went running for the toilet after smelling coffee grounds. So he gets it before she does. Denial. Not just a river in Egypt. Sorry, couldn't help it. Edward does seem really sweet. He's willing to skip dinner or anything if she gets stressed out. He wants to leave. He's really happy about the pregnancy. So I'm really loving Edward. I guess, a kid's table, of course, you've got a kid's table at Thanksgiving. So, but I guess if, Thanksgiving isn't part of your normal yearly holiday festivities, you might be surprised by a kid's table. It's just part of the American tradition. I remember, it was a big deal graduating from the kids' table to sit with the adults. He's the oldest. He's the firstborn. I do like the Jane Austen reference, calling him Mr. Bingley. And actually, she got that wrong because Mr. Bingley was the youngest. Caroline and Louisa was actually the oldest, then Caroline, and then Bingley. Charles. Yeah, so he's explaining, why who he marries is more important than his brothers or his sisters being the firstborn. And that goes back to what I was saying about, once you reach that level of wealth, you've got a whole new, different set of problems. And, who he marries is going to affect the shareholders, market values, all of this. I can't even imagine being a part of that world or wanting to enter that world. I don't know that I would want that. Although it'd be fun to try it. Clearly, world is a relative term. Excuse the pun. I love the pun. I love puns. This would be so fun to read in real time, starting on November, 21st. I think that would be cool. I want to find a book to do that. To where you read the chapters based on the date in the book. In case you want to clarify that. $57 million for that house. I would be so out of my element. Be like, is there pizza? Although there wouldn't be pizza because it's Thanksgiving. So I wonder why, other than just guarding their privacy, I wonder why he wouldn't speak to Harry about his childhood home, the house of the Hydes that she's in at the very beginning. She's sweet. They're really making his dad out to be quite the ogre. Everybody's relaxed because he's not there. They just arrived at the penthouse, where everybody is gathered for drinks in, what was it, the drawing room? It probably wasn't the drawing room, but it was the drawing room. So far her reception seems to be going well. Granted, they just walked in the room. But the mother did stand up and extend a smile and everything, which relaxed the rest of the family. They do seem to be welcoming her. Seems like Lila, the actress, was she girlfriend or wife? Partner. So I would assume girlfriend. Yeah, because she calls Fiona Oliver's wife and Lila is the partner. So long-term relationship, but I assume not official yet. She does seem to stand out from the rest of the family with her cousin and everything, reacting to her agent on the phone. Well, so his younger son, or younger brother, looks older than Edward. She's wondering if it was because he took on the brunt of the family business that Edward passed over. Edward, being oldest, stands to inherit the lion's share, and it seemed like Oliver is doing the lion's share of the work. So there might be some animosity there. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. Okay, I wouldn't expect her to be sexually attracted to her father-in-law. I don't know how I feel about that. She might just be attracted to that power that he exudes. So is there any significance to her being called Edward's Harriet? I can't think of, I wouldn't call that an odd way to introduce someone. Would y'all? She's obviously focused on it or noticed it. Something in the music. Is there, I don't know, is it some kind of like a family joke? Is there another Harriet? Well, she's going to have to announce the pregnancy. Everybody's, trying to give her something alcoholic to drink. Okay, so Mathilda gave her an out, saying that, she had been, that Harry had been fighting the flu. Food poisoning. So maybe she's not going to have to announce her pregnancy at Thanksgiving dinner when she just met everybody. I wonder what happened with Bobby. Bobby's still on board. Maybe I'm going to find out quickly. I have no idea who Bobby could be and what the implications are of that. So I'm very curious. This poor little, what was his name? Billy was scared to sleep in that room, but it seems to be an initiation by his cousins. Well, potential cousins, since it's Lila's son from a previous relationship. I wonder what her secret is, because she said that she knows that she can get through it because she holds a warm, cozy secret close. Like a comforter in situations like this, meaning ones where maybe she feels intimidated, scared, or overwhelmed. That library, oh, so jealous. Okay, that's just really weird, her attraction to the future father-in-law. He's supposed to be just like Edward, I guess, in looks and everything, but still, I find that, ugh. I wonder if there's, I don't know. I wonder if there's something to, well, there's obviously something to that, but I mean, I wonder what's going to come of that. There we go. I don't think that she's going to do anything inappropriate with him. I just wonder what's behind that pull for her. I feel like there's more significance to it than some kind of just a physical attraction. So I don't know. Is it just his, his power that she's responding to? Oh, I just reached the magical paragraph. We're just gonna find out what happened when her parents died. Oh, and that's how I knew it was a car wreck, from doing the magical paragraph, the upturned car. I knew that. So, okay, maybe I'm being not conned, but almost like hoodwinked. I'm falling for this sweet, mild-mannered persona of Harriet that the book is starting with. And she did call herself an unreliable, well, I don't think she said unreliable narrator, but it was, I think she said she wasn't credible. What was it that she said at the very beginning? Yeah, she's got a credibility problem. So she's got a past. She tries to marry into money and all hell breaks loose. So, she seems to have a very unassuming mannerism so far, and up until, it comes to Edward's father, Robert. She's just a little too enticed by him. I would assume she's got to be probably early 30s. Robert's father is like 65, so he is considerably older than her. And she definitely has some kind of pull towards Robert. And, I don't, is she just attracted to the bad boys, and is Edward a little too mild-mannered for her? Although I really like Edward. I hope she's not about to crush him. I don't know. Everything's setting up. I'm curious about the game aspect. Yeah, I wonder how it could be a game to the family. We know there's going to be potentially a confession to a murder on this tape that Robert's going to give Harriet at some point. I wonder if that is who Bobby is. Is Bobby the murder victim? So I don't even know where to go from here. I really liked Harriet until I kind of, I'm put off by the fact that she is attracted to Robert, at least on some level. I like Edward, although he might be a little too good to be true. I think definitely Mathilda, that I think there's more than meets the eye with Mathilda. I think she definitely knows how to manipulate and work things to her advantage. But I think at her core, I think she's going to be a good soul. And the mother too seems sweet, but we will see. All right. We need to find out what our next stop is going to be, because it's time to put down the book. I'm not going to be able to pick it back up until it'll be Sunday. I am actually reading this on Friday, December 1st. So I have to wait until the video goes up. And honestly, I probably won't pick my book back up till Monday. Because that way I can, speculate with y'all in the comments on Sunday. And that's my plan. So I'm going to be waiting Saturday, Sunday. And I have to wait till Monday. It's going to be painful. I want to know. It's just now getting going, We've kind of gotten the lay of the land. Cassie, I am really enjoying this so far. And yeah. Okay, I'm going to find out what page we've got to stop on. so I can give you our next magical paragraph. I just got to get out from underneath Lily. Okay, so our next stop is going to be 46% of the way in, and that is going to be on page 147 in the paperback and hardcover from Book of the Month. We both end on page 319. I did the math on the audiobook. If you're reading the version that is 10 hours and 51 minutes, you are going to find the magical paragraph at around the 5-hour mark. This will be in chapter 21. We're actually going to stop at the very last line of page 146. A shiver runs through me as his words from the tape come back to me. Page 147, 5-hour mark in audio, and this will be found in chapter 21. So make sure before the next video comes out, which will be on Tuesday, December 5th, that you have read up to the end of page 146 before watching that video. If you are coming to this later and we have already finished reading the book, then I challenge you to wait at least 24 hours before you pick your book back up and go on to the next spot. Because that extra time just waiting will give you some time to, mull some things over that you may have missed initially. It'll give you a chance to look through the comments and, again, kind of chew on what's down there. And maybe you'll pick up on some things that you missed during your reading. And you'll have some new theories to look for in the next part. Y'all always point out stuff that I missed. And it's so fun talking about it. And again, if you are coming across this later, then leave your comments down below as well. I would love to hear what you think. And I will be keeping an eye on this as much as I possibly can and responding as you make your way through the book as well. And if you don't necessarily want to throw out speculations or anything on the book, then just say hi so we know that you're reading along with us. And let me know where you're from. I just find it so fascinating knowing where everybody is from and the fact that we're all reading the same book at the same time. It's just too cool. All right, I've rambled enough. Tomorrow, I will have the bonus round of Just Spin It. And I'm playing for Kimberly. So keep an eye out for that. And then the day after that, we will get back into our book. I'm loving it. Thanks again, Casey. Bye, y'all.